Today, we're diving into the story of Hey It's a brand that took one of the world's oldest drinks, tea, and somehow, almost overnight, made it a viral sensation. So how on earth did they pull that off? Let's get into it.
I mean, think about it. That is a huge challenge, right? For centuries, tea has been this absolute cornerstone of Chinese culture. But for younger generations, it was kind of seen as something their parents or grandparents drank. A bit formal, traditional, maybe even a little boring. So the big question is, how do you completely shatter that image? And this is really where you see the clash of two worlds. On one side, you've got traditional tea. It's all about ceremony, it can be bitter, and it feels like it belongs to an older generation. But on the other side, you have what Hey Tea created, a drink that's fashionable, sweet, and maybe most importantly, practically begging to be posted on Instagram. Now, to really appreciate what Hey Tea accomplished, you have to understand the world they walked into. Before this whole new wave, the Chinese tea industry wasn't just big, it was a massive, deeply traditional kingdom just waiting for a shakeup. Just get a load of this number. In 2020 alone, China produced almost 3 million tons of tea. That's more than India, Sri Lanka, and Kenya put together. It's an absolutely colossal market, but it had a problem. The younger generation just wasn't connecting with the old, time-consuming traditions anymore. And this, of course, is where Hey Tea enters the chat. They didn't just see a product. They saw a whole generation that was hungry for something new. And boy, did they figure out exactly how to speak their language. So you might be wondering, what even is new style tea? It's easy to lump it in with bubble tea, but honestly, there's a huge difference in how it's made and what it's all about. Okay, so check this out. The key is right here in the creation method. Traditional tea is brewed. A lot of bubble tea is just made with powder mixes. But Hey Tea's new style tea is totally different. It starts with a high-quality tea extraction, and then they add all these wild, innovative ingredients like cream cheese foam or chunks of fresh fruit. It's a true game changer. And that new approach led to some seriously explosive growth. I mean, this is wild. Hey Tea started in 2012 as this tiny 30 square meter shop. Just 4 years later, it lands this massive funding round, and by 2019, its valuation hit an incredible 9 billion yuan. This wasn't just a success story, it was a full-blown phenomenon. Okay, so what was their secret? How did they do it? Let's open up the playbook, because Hey Tea's strategy was never just about selling a drink. It was about deeply understanding the mindset and habits of China's Gen Z. First up, the product itself. They knew their audience wanted sweet flavors, not bitter ones. And, crucially, they knew looks mattered. So they created these gorgeous, colorful, layered drinks that were just, well, beautiful. They weren't just beverages, they were little works of art, practically designed to be photographed and shared online. Now, to get the next piece of the puzzle, we have to talk about a really important cultural idea. Mianzi, which translates to face. This isn't just about pride. Think of it as your public reputation, your social status, your standing in the eyes of everyone else. And for young consumers, the things you buy and show off are a huge part of your Mianzi. And this is where Hey Tea was absolutely brilliant. They understood that carrying one of their cups could literally give you more Mianzi. That stylish packaging turned a simple drink into a fashion accessory. Holding a Hey Tea cup sent a message. You're trendy, you've got good taste, you're in the know. Buying a tea became a public statement about who you are. Their third move was just as smart, and it was all about how they named their drinks. So a traditional shop might call something kumquat lemon tea. It's descriptive, sure, but it also makes it super easy to compare prices with the shop next door. Hey Tea said no way. They created totally unique names like Bobo Tea. This did two things. It made their product feel special, and it made it impossible to do a direct price comparison. It's the same genius move Starbucks pulled with coffee. But Hey Tea knew the product alone wasn't enough. They had to build an entire experience around it, an ecosystem that fit perfectly into the modern, digital lives of their customers. And they did this in two brilliant ways. On one hand, you've got their physical stores, which are these sleek, minimalist spaces that feel more like cool art galleries than tea shops. Then, on the other hand, you have their super powerful Hey Tea Go app, which lets you order ahead and totally skip the line. It's the perfect solution for their digitally native audience. And just look at how well it worked.
This is absolutely mind-blowing. A staggering 82% of all Hatia orders come in online through their app. They didn't just tack on a digital option. They built a digital-first world that became their main way of doing business. That shows a seriously deep understanding of how their customers live.
So, after this incredible journey, what are the big lessons we can pull from this T-volution?
It really all comes down to 4 key things. First, they knew their Gen Z audience inside and out, their desire for new things, for status, for digital convenience. Second, they never forgot that product is king, reinventing tea to be a feast for the eyes. Third, they got that design matters everywhere. From the cup to the store, every single detail was about building the brand and boosting their customers' mianzi. And finally, they went all in on digital, making it the core of their entire business, not just an add-on. You know, the Hatia story is amazing proof that even the most traditional products can be totally reimagined for a new generation. Which kind of leaves us with one final big question. What other old-school industry is out there just waiting for its own Hatia moment?